What's up guys, this is Coach Fish bringing you some kipping progressions. We're going to get all the way into muscle ups potentially here in this video. So wanted to start with the foundation of just the two positions that we always want to reinforce on the floor before you come into the bar. Having a hollow position and a Superman position established on the floor before you start working at it on the bar is always the first step. I'm not going to show that in this video, but we are going to start with that hollow to Superman transition on the bar. Other special note is that we want to make sure that every time we grip the bar, we're not gripping it right behind with the knuckles. We want to take our knuckles over the top of the bar every time that we grab it. That way we have a good secured forearm so we don't have a lot of rotation happening in the upper part of our arm, or actually the more distal part of our arm. So the first big kipping motion should be either the Superman or the hollow, but we always want to make the hollow the biggest movement, and I'm going to show you on both bars so you can get different perspectives. But I want to get my body behind the bar and in front of the bar. The Superman position is a very short position. You should not travel super far in front of the bar. But my hollow position I want to make as big as possible to create efficiencies in things like toes to bar, pull-ups, and muscle-ups. And that's just efficiencies in getting my hips higher to the bar. So the first thing I do is put my feet all the way together and squeeze my glutes, and I want to try to create that Superman position and feel how much my glutes are stopping me like a rubber band from going any further. I make that point because whenever we do kipping and everybody starts to go for higher and higher skill, higher order skills in kipping, they start to spread their feet apart and they lose that foundation and they start to make their Superman really big. And they think they're gonna get a lot more momentum, but actually have turned off a lot of the potential, kinetic potential out of my body by letting my hips go that far in front of the bar. So we always wanna establish our feet are pinched together, and I want to feel that, oh, I can't go much further than that, and then I can snap into my hollow position. So that's always a good thing to establish before we start grabbing the bar. So next thing is grabbing the bar and getting into the hollow and Superman position and creating the rhythm. So this is the first step you want to do before you start doing any skills like knees to chest, toes to bar, knees to elbow, or pull-ups. I want to have a grip on the bar, and I'm going to start by doing a hollow position. That way I can test and see if I have the lat strength to control the bar and pull it down a little bit. And then I'm going to crunch into that hollow position and actually tuck my tailbone and push my toes out in front. And then I want to just hang. So I want to do hollow, hang, hollow, hang, hollow, hang. And you're going to be able to tell how much strength you're going to have for higher order skills by how far you can get behind the bar without the added momentum of using the Superman. So now that we've established I can hollow hang and have control, now I want to add the Superman, and this is going to throw off my rhythm a little bit when I'm first learning, but I want to create that rhythm of just pop, 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 back and forth. Again, feet together, grab bar, start in the hollow, short Superman. All right, easy 5 reps there to show control. I'm going to do that on this bar too, so you can see how far I'm traveling in front of the bar and opposed to how far I want to push it back. Short, big, short, big, short, big. All right, I want to feel that control in my core, not swing my feet. Remember, those are stiff and pushed together. Once we have that rhythm knocked down, which might take a while to stop swinging and make sure we can control and drop from the bar at any time, now we want to push into more distance behind the bar and bring our knees up to our chest to start to simulate a toes to bar. So here, knees up, creating a little bit more time and space by pulling the bar down with my lats. All right. Step after that is to crunch even more. Arguably, these are harder. The knees to elbow is harder than a toes to bar in my opinion, because my torso has to crunch that much more and I have to get further distance behind the bar. But it eliminates the long lever of having to touch my toes to the bar. So I'm gonna aim for my knees to hit somewhere between my elbow and my armpit. Anywhere is fine. Everybody's anatomy is gonna be a little different and the flexibility of their spine. But what I aim to have my feet point forward, the soles of my feet to point forward, and still create that snap down, feet together, short Superman. Once you got that established, there's 2 different ways to do the toes to bar. One, I'll show you on this bar so you can see the difference, but one is the tuck and flick, right, where I bring my knees to elbow, don't have to touch my elbow, but then I just kick the bar with my feet. That's a really shorter cycle and a little bit more efficient, so it's faster to complete, but it will burn out your core a little bit faster too. So I'm going to show you that one first. Tuck, flick. right? Little shorter cycle. Big important thing is still keeping those feet together when I come down to reestablish my rhythm in the kip. The next one would be a long toes to bar, where I keep my knees straight or as straight as possible, depending on your hamstring flexibility, to kick the bar. Requires more power to get behind the bar, but it does give you a break between reps. Got to pick your poison when you have toes to bar in a workout, to a shorter or longer cycle there. Okay. Had to get more chuck. Now that we've established a toes to bar, the next skill that we can get out of kipping is pull-ups and muscle-ups. This has a clearance for everybody that I coach that you need to have at least 3 strict good pull-ups that you can complete before you start doing kipping pull-ups. The reason is I'm going to be up on top of the bar, chin above the bar, and then I'm going to have to trust my shoulders to stay together, dropping down and doing the eccentric of this movement. And potentially you could have a lot of your body weight or more than your body weight hitting your shoulders on the way down. So I want to establish with athletes that you need that control to be able to come down off of a pull-up and do another one for 3 reps before you start kipping pull-ups and kind of starting to control a more dynamic movement on the bar. So I'm going to do the same kips that we did before for my knees to chest, knees to elbow, toe to bar. The form remains the same, but now I'm going to try to get an elevation out of my hips more than before. So this is where the actual kip comes in. We call this Superman to hollow rock the kip, but really it is that extra snap of your hips coming up to the bar that is actually labeled a kip in gymnastics. So whenever I do a Superman, I'm pushing my hips forward, again short in front of the bar, and then I'm going to snap down, right, and have that bars get snapped down to my hips, and the extra little kip or the kick of power is going to be slamming my hips up again. Okay? We're going to start to see that with the pull-up, but I just want to show you how high you want to try to get your kips first before we start to add that little jolt of the hips to give us momentum. So now I want to test out big hollows, right? See how far you can pull that bar down to your hips with every kip and add a lot of power to your hollow and keep that Superman super short. I'm going to do it on this bar a couple reps just so you can see that distance. Body position stays in a hollow. You keep your feet together on the Superman. Okay? Again, you got to catch my breath between those reps because those are powerful things to get done. But now that I feel confident that I can bring the bar down a little bit, now I want to add that little bit of timing of snapping my hips up to the bar. Once I snap my hips up, it's basically the bar is going to be hopefully in front of me, somewhere around the range of right on top of your head or right in front of your face. So you're going to actually pull yourself into the bar. It's not necessarily a pull-up that comes from overhead into below your chin. You're actually going to be slightly already traveling towards the bar when you snap your hips and you get your chin over the bar. Once I'm there, I want to reestablish hollow position. So I want to get up to the bar, establish hollow by making sure my rib cage is down, and then I push the bar away. Very important. Push the bar away to reestablish hollow. That way I can drift under the bar, do a Superman again, and right back to where I started. I'm going to give you 3 reps, nice and controlled as possible, so you can see those positions that I just talked about. Maybe I'll slow that down so you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to do 3 reps for you here too. All under control. So that is usually the highest order skill that people get to for kipping. but now we have the muscle up and we have the butterfly. I'm not gonna cover the butterfly right now because it kind of gets out of the realm of everything else we've talked about. But now that I have the power to get hips up to the bar, right, and see the bar in front of me, that's the time where we have enough power out of our lats to jump over the bar in a muscle up. So I'm gonna change the camera angle a little bit, give you some more tips on that. Okay, the final piece of kipping is our muscle up. This is for the advanced athletes that have been doing kipping. I was kipping pull-ups for about a year before I started to try to do this. That doesn't mean you have to wait that long, but we want to establish enough power to have a great hollow position and a lot of distance behind the bar in our hollow to see the bar at our eye level. That's going to give us enough travel distance and timing to get our elbows above the bar and then come out of that dip. You don't necessarily need a dip if you have enough power to get above the bar in a muscle up, and that would be a great efficient way to do it. Unfortunately, you don't have that power and you land in a dip position. One thing I want to highlight is you never want to train yourself to do the chicken wing, right? And get one elbow over and then the other and kind of lay on the bar and then dip on the top. That's just going to twist those shoulders and be in a really bad position in a dynamic movement. It's really hard to catch yourself multiple times with that one wing, and you're going to overdevelop and kind of mess your shoulders up. So yeah, you're going to be protected for a little bit, but please be cautious and don't chicken wing it. And usually the fault there is that you're throwing one hip harder than the other, and you're just getting more travel distance out of your hip on one side versus trying to throw both. So one thing we established earlier, feet together always. That's going to be really important when you start getting above the bar for your stability, getting both elbows over the top. So the first thing I'm going to show are those high kips again, and then I'm going to show a good momentum swing into the muscle up, but I'm going to show them back to back. So I'll give you like 2 good kip swings, and hopefully I'll get over the bar on like the 3rd rep and the 4th rep. All right, always applying chalk so I don't slip too much. High kip, I see the bar, I'm going to go over the top of it. All right, had a little bent wrist on one side. But now that I'm at the top, I'm going to push away just like I did on the pull-up and make sure I have a hollow position established as I come down to recycle into my next rep. Getting as much distance as you can, again, behind the bar. Try those drills out. Let me know how they go. This is a really fun, dynamic way to train your lats and be more efficient during your workouts. See you next time.